I'm going to hide this. Well, so who you have right now is we have introduce yourself.
I'm Maurice Young. I'm the president and founder of Health for Hire Incorporated.
And he's coming here. Come on. Yeah.
I specialize in helping the youth right now. I just wrote a book called Turning Trauma into Triumph, 8 Transformative Steps for Self-Healing. I consider myself a therapreneur, right? And I'm an author. Got a lot of different things going on in the city right now. Blessed to be here. Thank you.
Oh,
good.
I'm a good brother, Joel Wilson. Today I'm going to be speaking for we have partners that are stretching way beyond the city of Philadelphia, even into the Midwest, Texas. So you don't have to be confined to Philly if you want to get down and come into the investment club and help us grow our wealth.
And my name is Hakeem Tadaji. I'm a member of staff of the House Schmoozing, and I work directly with Sister Jackie.
All righty. So y'all were in here talking about, well, let's take a moment because Maurice just getting here, but tell us about your book and just give us an exercise. One moment, like something we can do because you have 8 transformative steps.
Okay.
Give us a step.
All right. So the title of my book is Turning Trauma into Triumph, 8 Transformative Steps for Self-Healing. And this book was birthed out of young people, young men and women who have experienced multiple traumas against them, and trying to figure out a lucrative life path for themselves. So I talk about cultivating resilience, and staying around people that feel like sunlight is important. I got this saying that your network is your net worth, right? And it's a combination of just being around a group of positive individuals to move forward. But during that process, in the beginning, we experience trauma in our life, and I feel like trauma has a way of showing up in other later on in life, and if it's not properly resolved, what happens is, we can have a lot of good things going for ourselves, and then guess what? It hits you like a deer in the headlights, and then you take 5 steps backwards. So basically, I wrote a guide for dealing with that. One of the first exercises that I have in the book is actually writing a letter to yourself, and getting a chance to examine what kind of trauma that has actually transpired in your life. How old were you? And at what age did it happen? And I feel like once you're able to get in tune with the things that hindered you the most, right, you can gradually start to take the steps to heal, right, and project your career. Like I said, a lot of my research has been conducted under watching and reading from Erik Erikson's psychosocial model and Abraham Maslow. And what I learned was with Erikson is that when someone experiences trauma, if you look at it like a staircase going forward, wherever that trauma happened at, it has an ability to hinder you from moving on to the next step forward, right? So I feel like with the proper training and skill set, you can recognize and to be able to deal with that specific situation. So the ultimate goal is to reach that highest level of self-actualization. Some people get there, some people don't. So that's the ultimate goal. And I feel like with this book right here, it'll help you get there sooner than later. All right. So
Okay, that's awesome. Awesome. So we do want to exercise. I am taking a moment to see. I don't know if this is considered okay. That's just the layout. So we're Faith is watching. I just don't understand. I'm trying to get her to add on. So maybe I need to change my layout. Okay, that doesn't seem to make a difference, but what so we're going to again I just need to well, I will be bringing Faith on, but I did want because you talked about 8 transformative steps. So what is something that we can do right now? What's something we can do as an exercise? It's Sunday. We're starting out our week. It's the first day of the week. What's something we can do?
Okay. Let's see. Something that we can do. You can start off by let's get ready for the week, right? Let's set some goals for ourselves. What is it that you want to accomplish for this week, this month, this year, right? And write it down. And I feel like once you write it down, write down 10 things. Write down 10 things, and then identify, what's the most important. If it was a life changing, if one of these goals for yourself could be life changing, which one would it be, right? Mm-hmm. So once you narrow it down to that one, focus on that one, and then create a platform, a list to do things based off of that specific one, and just go after it.
Okay.
Just go after it. Whatever that looks like. If it looks like getting up in the morning and writing a thing and then getting your day started. Just make sure it's structured, and eventually turns into a yearly goal, right? And then it's important to set those small steps, small milestones for us, because sometimes we throw ourselves right into situations and then it's too much to bear, right? So I think by creating those small little steps, it creates a time.
You have 15 minutes to get yourself together and be ready, because at 2:00, Faith is coming on along with Joel, and we're doing financing legacies. This is so important, everyone. Financing legacies. We have to leave something. If we don't own the stories, we can't control the narrative. What is going to be left behind, what will be told about us, can be anything. Stuff can stay buried in oil if we don't tell these stories, if we don't tell them through our mouths, through our art, through owning our art, controlling where it goes, how it goes, who benefits, and that we benefit. So that's one of the big purposes of the Black Book Art and Finance Fair, is owning our stories. So Joel is going to come talk about finance. We need to have these discussions all the time on a regular basis, because finances impact every part of our being. So we need to understand ways. And and he's going to talk about investment clubs, and these are opportunities not just for you to get involved, but families to get involved. Youth can get involved. They can join, form their own, for you to have something to leave. There are ways, when you get more detail, but there are ways to house your investment. So you can house it as a uniform gift to minors. You can house it as a retirement fund. There are just different ways you can take your investment and house them and use them for different purposes. So we're going to get started with finance and legacies. Reasons to join a Black investment group. And that'll be with Joel Wilson, and we'll be back in about 15. But like I said, what I'm going to do here is share the screen so we can see our interview from last year via YouTube. So share screen. Wait. I see Joel was messaging me. You can see that. So I'm going to come in. This is the screen I'm in. So coming out of here. And I'm going to go to YouTube. And this way, you guys can still meet Faith. And we're going to bring her backstage, though. You see, I'm not typing well. Alrighty, here's YouTube. Here, right here. Now, this is the session that we're on right now, so we're watching us. And here, I'm just going to go to not too many schmingling, so alrighty. Yep, so it's not too many schmingling, so we'll do a search for that. Okay, it's moving. Here we are. That's the live one here. Here we go. We're watching this live. Okay, we're on many different stations right now, so they're all coming up. Alrighty, Schimingling. Here we go. This is the playlist from there.
I forgive all the little things. I pray for you. I forgive you, bully. I forgive you, teacher said I wouldn't be sure. I forgive you for all the little things. I pray for you. Cause I done did a whole lot of sinning, ran around with lots of women, never care who I offended, though I do got good intentions. I know one day we gon' find a way. So
has been a real blessing to me. I've been able to speak to
Well connected through blatant self-promotion. And I mean, I think that's good. That's it. We are always trying to hype ourselves, going over here, like, hey, look at me, look at me, look at me. I can do this, I can do that, I can do that. So let's, this is like, good subject. So Friday night after work, we get a chance to wind down and just have some fun and learn how to schmingle, baby. So I actually put the old here we go. Got a little and so we'll introduce everyone to Faith McKinney.
Hello, 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 Jacqueline. Thank you so much for having me today. And thank you everybody in the audience for joining us. Showing up is most of the, 90% of it is showing up, your success. And so, when I wrote Schmingling, it's because I showed up and I saw results. And that's really what I wrote about. It's not really how much it's really who knows you and who knows what you know. But when you show up, that's when you get those opportunities to let the people who can make those decisions and change your life, let them know who you are and what you do and build those relationships. So I thank you
That
so
is
much for
awesome.
yes, my life, for allowing me to meet so many amazing people from across the
Well, Faith, thank you. But I'm appreciative of you. So just to let everybody know, Faith, we had a show called Beyond Talk on Master Griot Radio. And Faith hosted that show for 2 years. And at first she thought she came on as a co-host and everything, and the co-host left, but she stayed. That's what she about
That's
showing
right.
up. And yeah, and I really feel that's my gift, that I'm blessed with people. I mean, I think everybody has something special about them, something I admire, something that keeps me in awe. And I'm just constantly meeting these people. So as a person who loves marketing, I just feel it's my mission to share it. So I think that's the biggest thing. People over here don't understand what is going on. It's like, wow, if you just only knew.
That's really true. And even
Yeah.
in organizations, and since many of us or most of us have been home, for an entire year, we haven't really had the chance to get out and to meet new people and to, find new opportunities. Really, we were just trying to keep our heads above water. But now, there's a little hope, or at least we're getting used to this new world that we're living in, and so we can adapt to it. We're adapting to Zoom, we're adapting to these the backgrounds, we're adapting to everything that comes with it. But we are also able to meet more people and connect with more people all over the world. And so in my book, you were talking about schmingling. Let me hold this up a little bit.
Yeah.
Schmingling, the art of
There you
being
go.
well
Great.
connected through blatant self-promotion. Yeah. And so, even when we are all working from home, you can even make international connections. You can speak to people all over the world at the same time without having to leave your home. And this has been a real blessing to me. I've been able to speak to groups and organizations that I would never have been able to approach prior to this, or I didn't think I would have
Mhm.
even. But because of the nature of virtual meetings, I'm able to speak and I'm able to have multiple meetings, in the same day, and it's really made a difference. And I don't know if you have realized, but now businesses and organizations are, um, a lot of people working remote. And so how do
Yeah.
you stand out when you're working remote?
Mhm.
How do you get that image and that exposure and seen by those decision makers, by the C-suite, by the CEOs and the people that make the decisions on your career. So one of the things too, we said showing up, we said, of course you want to perform your job, but then also you want to also be available for those opportunities or create an opportunity for yourself within the company to stand out. And so this is really what I'm talking about to companies, to businesses all over the world, people who want to be able to stand out. It's all about personal brand now. It's all about the
Yeah.
personal brand. No longer can we rely on, going to, shake hands and work belly to belly. There's none of that, at least not for the next
Mhm.
foreseeable future, near foreseeable future. So, being able to, get that pie, we call pie, PIE, that's performance, image, and exposure. And those are the ingredients that you need to be seen in front of, or to be seen to advance in your career. And so, getting pie online is now easier than ever. You still want to make sure that you are performing your job at a top level, but then you want to see how you can get that image. You always are on an interview. This is the thing. Whenever you're going to a Zoom meeting for work, you're at an interview. Don't think that you're at an interview when you go to be interviewed. No, you're being interviewed the moment you step in the door, period.
Mhm.
And so that's how you get that image part um, of your pie. And then for the exposure, that's taking on different positions and different tasks. That's volunteering. That's sending uh, exposure, getting exposure on maybe LinkedIn, sharing content that maybe your CEOs or owners are sharing, and contributing that way. That's that exposure. So pie is it. That pie part of Schmingling is really has been working for me, and it's been working for so many others. And I know leaders of Fortune 100 companies are preaching pie.
Yeah, well, oh, that's really awesome. I didn't even think about that, because you're working remotely, how do you stand out and
Mm.
how do you make those further connections, especially depending on the nature of your job. Now, sometimes when you're on teams and if the nature of your job requires that you interact with several people, that's different. But what happens if your nature of your job just doesn't necessarily cause you to do much interaction, maybe then just to report to one person or so.
Well,
So
that's the
I
key.
never even.
Yeah, a lot. It is, working remotely is you're sort of siloed. You're here by yourself. You got your own thoughts. You're really not thinking about how other people are affected by your decisions, by your actions. But um, many times you're working with a team of other people, maybe not, people you may not even see, but you do want to make an impression on the people that can make the decisions. How are you leaving an impression on people? Even the people within your team, if you're working remotely, they may have connections. I know you work in media, and media is a really tight knit community, because if you are on air talent, you often need an engineer to help run the things, to put things up on air online, or you need a lighting person, or you need a makeup artist. Well, who do you call? You call the people that you call the people that you work with, you call the people who can do the job, and who are reliable, who can are easy to work with. You're not wanting to call somebody who's hard to work with. You're going to call somebody who you like working with. So that know, like, and trust is still in effect with Pi, and in effect with remote working. So it's just an extension of the schmingling.
Yeah. So learning. And and what you say, I mean, that is how I put when I said I wanted to do this, the Black Book Art and Finance Fair. I said I'm really going to do this as a love project. So I said I really don't have it to, it would be super overwhelming if I just opened it up, had to choose all these different authors and things like that. I said, let me just first start out with the core people who I know. I know the quality of what they can deliver. I know, I can work with them. Like everything you just said, that's
Yep.
just what I thought. And I said, let me first use this platform. And now, and we'll create the shell, the foundation, and then that's something I can build on. But at first, let me, this way, I know what it is. So I said, who are those
Mhm.
people I know that, do a quality presentation, has something interesting to share and that I can depend on to show up. And like, wow, was my exact thought when I put it together.
Absolutely. Well,
Because
yeah, I
became
mean,
a
of
whole list of
course.
authors. Yeah.
And
I even had one
that is
author.
your gift. That's your gift, Jacqueline. I mean, so my gift is totally different, but with you and that's why it's great to know you, because one, you're a big picture thinker. You think outside of the box. And then two, you bring in the people that you know. You have a huge network of people that you can tap into to accomplish certain you put events on, and you have this huge network of people that you tap into to get the work done, the work that you want done. And so when let's say you're an introvert. So I consider myself to be an introvert, somebody who is really not necessarily an outgoing, but I like it, but it's kind of draining. And so that's kind of like the definition of an introvert. An extrovert is a person who gets energy from going out and being around people. I get energy when I'm kind of at home, and I store up my energy, and then when I go out, then I expend the energy back out.
Yeah.
But and then shy people who don't really want to talk to people, period. So I have a little bit of mix of that, but
Mm,
even so, it's easy. It's good to know people like you, Jacqueline, because you are the person. You're like the glue. You're the hub. And if I was in need of something, I would say, "Hey, Jacqueline, do you know somebody who can do this, this, or this?" And you would have them at the ready. And so that
mhm.
is that's a blessing to have people like you in our lives. And it is part of schmingling. It's schmoozing and mingling. And you have to know what I can do. You have to know,
Mhm.
my demeanor, my personality, and you have to know if I'd be a good fit for that project
Yeah. Yeah.
before you put your name on the line and recommend me.
Yeah.
That's that know, like, and trust.
Yeah.
And
That's
so yeah,
true.
that your gift is different. You're the hub of different projects. And so you're the one that brings people together. You're the organizer, you're the big picture thinker, and you bring all the pieces, the parts, and the people together and because of you, we get exposure. We are
Mhm.
exposed to so many other people. It really is, schmingling at its best. You know who I am. I
Mm.
know, and you know what I can do, and you recommend me to other projects, and I
Yeah.
get the exposure, and that's schmingling.
Yeah. So that
Showing
is
up.
real interesting. And yeah, I never thought of it. You know, in the fullness of how you explain it. Now, I just want to backpedal for just a quick moment because I know you, but the world does not necessarily know you.
Hmm.
And so I do want to take a moment for you to just, tell us, who's but just who's the person,